darts world is filled with characters, from passionate bald men to mohawked assassins.
180!
Never seen the like. Volleyball. Yes, double 12. That is the most amazing lemonades you will ever see in your life.
You'd assume most of these players get their ability from dingy pubs, surviving on a diet of beer and pork scratchings, and you'd probably be right. However, one young man is changing the perception of darts from old men with beer bellies to, well, young men with beer bellies. So how has this atomic bomb of talent dropped into the world of darts and set fire to the game?
Fat, P-H-A-T, pretty hot and tempting.
Luke Littler was born on January 21st, 2007 in Runcorn and raised in nearby Warrington by his father, who is a taxi driver, and his mother, who sells scented candles. He started playing darts when he was around 18 months old, after his dad bought a magnetic dartboard from the pound shop. With the encouragement of his parents to pursue what he was naturally drawn to, Luke achieved his first 180 at the age of 6. At the age of 10, he continued his journey in the darts world from his bedroom to a nearby darts facility called St. Helens Darts Academy. The St. Helens Dart Shop has been serving the community of St. Helens for over 21 years, and the academy for 17 years, helping fuel the careers of darts legends such as Michael Smith, Dave Chisnall, and of course Luke the Nuke. Soon after joining the academy, he began competing in the under-21 competitions and managed to achieve his first 9-dart finish at the age of 13. Luke's dad explained that Luke had a deep focus on darts from a young age, stating, "He was a good footballer. He loved football. All kids do. But I said it to him at age 9, hang your boots up, concentrate on darts. You can still play football here and there, but if there's a darts comp on at the weekends, go to darts first. Make that your priority, because I thought he could make it at darts, and he has done. When I said to him, you need to keep playing darts, he was okay with it. We put him in every competition that was online. Sometimes you're getting up at 7 AM on a Saturday, my only day off, just to play darts. There were no lions." In 2019, Littler won the England Youth Grand Prix and the Isle of Man Masters Youth Competition, where he was able to defend his title in 2020. In November 2021, Luke won his first seniors title at the Irish Open, defeating Barry Copeland 6-2, qualifying him for the 2022 WDF World Darts Championship at the age of 14. A couple of weeks later in the same month, during the Junior MVG Masters tournament, he hit a 9-dart finish again. After starting to perform in competitions, Luke needed a nickname to go along with his powerful performances. He stated, "We were just sat in a pub and it was just me and my dad. I was like 13 or 14 years old. I didn't have a nickname and it just went well with my name. We sat down thinking, Luke, Luke, Luke. And then Luke the Nuke came into our heads." Throughout 2022, Luke won a plethora of competitions, including the Isle of Man Open, the Romanian Classic, the WDF Europe Youth Cup, and the Junior World Darts Championship. By the end of September 2022, he was selected by the National Federation to participate in the Senior WDF Europe Cup, where he managed to advance to the quarterfinals of the singles competition and achieve a gold medal in the team competition. In 2023, Luke continued his run of success, winning the third series of the Modus Super Series in May and then retaining the title for a second time in August. He would then go on to retain his World Youth Championship title in November against the 21-year-old Dutch talent Geen van Veen. His performance at this tournament subsequently qualified Luke for his first ever appearance at the Senior World Darts Championships the following month. However, despite this growth and success in the darts world, he was still completely unknown to the masses of casuals and non-darts fans. Prior to the World Championships, Luke had only won a total of $2.5 grand in prize money and was ranked 164th in the world. I say only like that's not an achievement in itself at 16, I was wanking into socks at that age, and I still kind of am. The tournament began with the preliminary rounds on the 15th of December 2023 and would run through the holidays to the 3rd of January 2024. The qualifying for the tournament itself is done via a series of seedings, with previous major winners and high-ranked professionals becoming top seeds, meaning they automatically qualify due to their merit. The remaining 32 places are then decided via international qualifiers and secondary dart tours. So because Luke won the Youth World Championship, he qualified as a wildcard entry, as I stated earlier. These incredible athletes would be showcasing their talent at the Ali Pali, aka Alexandra Palace, in front of 3,200 drunk fans. Some have argued that some of the greatest gigs in history have been played at the Ali Pali, from the Rolling Stones to Pink Floyd. However, when the darts rock up, you best believe these players become gods among mere mortals. It's the only place in the world where a 38-year-old mortgage advisor dressed as Princess Peach, fangirling over a 16-year-old, doesn't get arrested. In round 1 of the tournament, Luke dispatched of Kristen Kurse with a 3-0 win, and then defeating UK Open winner Andrew Guiden 3-1 in round 2. These 2 wins catapulted the young lad to astronomical levels. However, it wasn't just his performances that were already catching headlines, mostly due to the fact that people couldn't believe that this kid was 16 years old. Has anyone ever seen Luke Littler and Napoleon Bonaparte in the same place? Him looking like a 40-year-old bloke with a heavy mortgage inevitably made him a viral meme. This was perpetuated when photos emerged on Luke's mum's Twitter page of Luke opening presents on Christmas Day. The fact he probably still believes in Santa and could earn over 100k next week. He's hoping to unwrap a doner with cheese and garlic sauce. In fact, joking about this kid being 16 became a meme within itself during the tournament because of how much coverage it was getting. After Christmas, he defeated the Canadian Matt Campbell 4-1 on the 28th of December, which would set him up for a round of the last 16 tie with ex-world champion Raymond van Barneveld. As the rounds of the tournament progress, the amount of sets you need to win is increased, with the round of the 16 increasing to first to 3 sets to first to 4 sets, and then increasing all the way to 7 sets in the final. Qualifying for the round of the last 16, Luke was guaranteed to win a minimum of £35,000 from this point onwards, and a potential £500,000 if he goes on to win the tournament. He stated that any winnings will go on a trip to Alton Towers, kebabs, and FIFA points. Michael van Gerwen, who is a legend of the game and the youngest person to ever win a major PDC title at the age of 23, gave Luke some advice ahead of the round of 16.
Can you give any advice to Luke Littler, or do you think he's learning on the spot what he's doing?
Yeah, keep doing what he does, you know what I mean? Keep eating the burgers and the chips and
Round of the last 16 rolled round with Luke strutting out to Green Light by Pitbull, which some have branded as the worst walkout song in darts. Personally, how can you complain about Mr. Worldwide? It gets the people going. But during an interview with Radio 1, he stated that he gained inspiration for the walk-on song from his time with his dad at WrestleMania 33. Despite expectations of this likely being the end of the road for Luke, he managed to destroy Van Barneveld 4 sets to 1. The hype train around this teenager kept on moving, with people beginning to break down his darts and analyse his game. For Luke's weaponry of choice, he uses a 23-gram 90% tungsten Swiss point steel tip darts with a barrel length of 52mm and a barrel width of 6.5mm, which has clearly caused some damage. The better the player is, the more often they are to edge towards the lighter end of the weight scale, with 22 grams being hugely popular on the Pro Tours. Most darts players' throwing technique varies massively from player to player. Luke's throw involves a low elbow flick from the wrist and keeping the dart under the line of sight so the shoulder finishes level. On New Year's Day of 2024, Luke thrashed Brendan Dolan in the quarter-finals, 5 sets to 1. Becoming the first debutant to reach the semi-finals since Nathan Aspinall in 2009. A couple days later on the 3rd of January, Luke defeated Rob Cross in the semi-finals, 6 sets to 2, taking him just 1 win away from glory and £500,000. But shortly after the semi-finals, the internet discovered that his girlfriend, who had been in the crowd during his matches, was 21 years old, 5 years older than Luke. The couple apparently met each other while playing FIFA online and both share the passion for darts, with Eloise playing at amateur level herself. But with the world finding out this information, the British media does what it does best after building someone up. They tried to knock him back down by creating a media storm around him just before the final. His girlfriend Eloise received a massive amount of abuse, getting branded as a gold digger. This subsequently required Luke to go on Sky News and perform an interview defending his relationship with his girlfriend.
And there's also a lot of talks about your partner that brought you back closer together even?
We're going to stick together now. Obviously we have been doing for the past few months, so we're just going to stick together. Whether anyone likes it or not, we're not bothered.
Regardless of the tapped age gap, making a 16-year-old kid have to defend the relationship between him and his girlfriend days before the biggest moment of his life is just shit, and frustratingly always to be expected when the British press are involved. Legends of the game such as Gary Anderson came to the defense of Luke and addressed the media circus that was going on around him before the final.
See, we're going to say this now because we have another youngster called Josh Rock that all used press and everything else have absolutely destroyed. So if it ever goes tits up with Luke, give yourselves a pat on the back because that's the way it's going. Let the boy play darts. I've been downstairs today and he's had cameras, Zoom calls, Sky meetings. Let the boy play darts.
Despite the chaos surrounding the young lad and free kebabs for life on the line, the highly anticipated final was set, dubbed the Battle of the Lukes. Luke the Nuke versus Luke Cool Hand Humphreys. Unfortunately, harnessing the power of Pitbull in the walkout and everyone wanting to see this underdog story fulfilled, Luke Humphreys emerged victorious, beating the Nuke by 7-4. After the victory, many people's first thought was, well done, he's 16. But it was probably hard for Luke to cry because he had just become 200 grand richer and rose from ranked 164th in the world to 31st in the world. The final had over 4.8 million people watching, making it the most watched darts event of all time, and the most watched non-football sports event on Sky. Due to his performance, it was also announced that Luke was going to be a part of the 2024 Darts Premier League, where he would face off against Luke Humphreys once again in the upcoming quarter-finals in Cardiff. His highly publicised inspiration and love for John Cena and wrestling as a whole subsequently led John Cena to post a cryptic picture of Luke on his Instagram after the final. On the 12th of January 2024, a few weeks after the World Championships, Luke was invited to play at the Bahrain Darts Masters and make his World Series of Darts debut. He was one of 16 players fighting for the title, but quickly dispatched of Hong Kong's Man Lok Ling 6-3 in his opening game. However, during the quarter-finals against Nathan Aspinall, Luke hit his first ever 9-darter in a major competition, and simultaneously became the youngest player ever to land a televised 9-darter, all in the first leg of the game. Just to put in perspective how insane a 9-darter is, for a professional there is a 0.009% chance of it happening, or roughly 1 in 10,000, and for a decent amateur it's 0.0002%, which is 1 in 500,000. So to even pull that off in competition is just incredibly ludicrous. In the same evening, he would go on to play the 3-time world champion Michael van Gerwen in the final. A month before, during the World Championships, Van Gerwen was asked in an interview if he understood the comparisons to himself and Luke, and how they both burst onto the scene at a young age, stating, "Yes and no. I think if you look at talent-wise, then I think I was slightly better, but he doesn't care whoever he plays, and that's why I admire him." Luke went on to beat Van Gerwen 8-5 in the final, and was awarded £20,000 for winning the tournament, taking his monthly total winnings to £220,000. Perhaps even more mind-boggling, after winning the Bahrain Masters, Luke stated that he hadn't even thrown darts since the World Championships a few weeks earlier. On the 21st of January 2023, Luke finally turned 17 years old. The impact this young man has had on a sport in such a short space of time is truly remarkable. But it's not just his onstage performances that have filtered into the veins of the darts world. He made casuals and non-darts fans care about the sport. This can be clearly seen from his meteoric rise on social media, going from 4,000 followers to over 1.1 million within the space of a month and a half. Luke's success in these tournaments is in direct correlation with the popularity of the sport. From 1999 to 2023, the viewership statistics have increased by around 900%, in large part due to the Sky Sportsification of darts. But without a shadow of a doubt, Luke is the future of the sport, and like his walkout song, he is likely to be Mr. Worldwide very soon. Thank you so much for watching this video, it really does mean a lot to me. Make sure to follow me on all of my socials @FatMemer, like, subscribe, and comment below what you want to see next.